everyone, Joe here from ActionX. Welcome to What's in the Tuber. Welcome back. If this is your fifth Reacher Season 2 episode review, hope you're doing well. Hope you're staying safe out there in the bigger world. Happy New Year's. This is our first episode of 2024. Bit crazy to think about that it's a brand new year. We're still here. We're still kicking. Reacher is somehow. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff to do this year, despite just how very volatile 2023 was for the TV industry. We're still trekking along. We're still kicking it. But yeah, so here we are. So welcome back. Hope you had a great holiday season. Hope you had wonderful New Year's with your loved ones or however you spend it. But you know what? I normally say to everyone that I'm friends with, the holidays are over. Time to get off. It's time to get back to work. You know, we got no holiday. Like, we got no traditional, like, holiday that everyone takes off for. Maybe till 4th of July, Memorial Day, Super Bowl Sunday. I really don't know. But point being is that we're back. New year. Time to kick some ass. Time to get to the second half of Reacher. See how things are going to end off. And this episode, again, like, they always know how to the pacing in this series in every episode is on a new level for me. Because, like, once again, we're still playing the slow approach. We got some suspenseful scene. There was more, like, correlation with this episode with the rest of the show. But also just the fact of the nature of, like, they just know how to, like, get the jives going where, like, this just seemed like to be, again, another one of those. We're in the middle of the story episodes. We're not at the rising action yet. We're still building the pieces. And they still know how to keep us on our toes. They really do. You know, the more episodes we get, and then we don't have, the less possibility of, like, where is it going to be in these final set of episodes. So very happy about that. That, you know, that I'm still as engaged as I am. I was a little scared though, because, like, again, we had the first 3 all back to back to back. A little break for 4. At least I didn't feel the break because, you know, I went literally the way I recorded these were like. The first 4 were relatively available in, like, one brief period, and then I had to wait, and then obviously all the holiday stuff happened. So now here we are at 5, you know, just starting off the new year already with that. And, you know, I think it was just kind of like the greatest way to begin the amount of episodes of shows I'm going to consume and review this year. It just seems like the perfect get into it. But with that being said, let's go for the Butcher recap and talk about this week's episode of Reacher. So we begin with, we're at a house. I thought we were back at the house they kind of blew up a couple episodes ago, but it's not. We're at O'Donnell's house. Apparently they're doing a little stopover before they head off down to D.C. Reacher kind of meets his family, but his family, O'Donnell's family, doesn't really care about him. He's just like a big, tall dude that's in the middle of our living room. I think Reacher, I honestly thought this was the scene where, like, okay, Reacher's gonna want a family. He's gonna want a kid. He's going to want a house. Absolutely not. This guy literally seems like, I am here. That is it. That literally is the entire, like, not a single line out of him. It was just all facial expressions. That tells a mile away he's glad he doesn't have this life. That he doesn't. But he's also a little bit baffled that O'Donnell had this life. You know, he was kind of expecting him to be more of, like, a player after they wrapped up with the service and everything, that he would just be bouncing around from girl to girl. But no, O'Donnell has, you know, wanted to settle down, find the right Mrs. Right, don't we all? Have a couple kids and, like, you know, live the scenic life. And he has, and, you know, he's perfectly happy about it. His kids are a little over-energetic, but, like, hey, well, kids aren't over-energetic. So they're going to the game plan, just trying to, like, you know, make sure they have all their ducks in a row for their upcoming meeting down in D.C. to figure out who the hell AM is. They get a call from the other side in Denver. They've arrived at the manufacturing plant to inspect the goods to make sure that they're still there to try and intercept them. They speak to the general manager, and sad to say the least, they were too late. The truck already left with the things that they were supposed to look for, which I'm like, shit, this is exactly what we were trying to avoid, but it's too late now. So in the middle of some back roads way leaving Denver, the truck driver driving all of this, like, let's just say, weapons, literally gets shot and gets taken away by the bad guys, AM's men, so that they can procure the goods and, like, you know, have it, you know, sent offward to head off to New Tech. AM also is just in the middle of driving out of wherever the hell I forgot where he is. Illinois, not Illinois. I forgot what state he's in, but he's still driving around. He's still playing the very slow approach with the character, still trying to get to the others. Reacher and O'Donnell meet up with some of the agents at some government organization that I already completely forgot about. It's the same one that Reacher's brother worked at from last season, or at least that we got the backstory for. So they're comparing notes. AM has been someone that they've been tracking for a very long time. They had one specific name for it, but considering the fact he has all these aliases, that this isn't exactly what they were thinking about was going to happen before. So now they're having more clues to the puzzle. That this guy has been very, very active around. He's kind of similar to Reacher, where he's very very light, indicating that he has really no physical or electronic footprint anywhere out there. Like, his only form of currency are these old bail bonds that have not been used in so long. And the fact is that the one key thing they figured out is like, okay, no matter what happens, if this mission, whatever they're trying to do, is complete, then that means one thing, that he's going to be there to collect the money, like no matter what, and that's their opportunity to get him. The agents actually make comparisons to him and his brother. And, Jack kind of feels a little bit like, okay, well, that was uncalled for, but, like, even Jack has feelings, even though, like, we don't see it, he still has them. So they convene. There really isn't much that they can provide to them now that they don't already know. So, they leave, and they're still, once again, figuring out the fact that Swan, even though they're trying not to, incriminate him in part of this entire new tech, investigation, it's kind of becoming more dire for worse that, especially once the other team members, they literally catch the AM's men literally in the process of, like, switching the license plates and everything off the two trucks so that they can take the weapons away without any discovery. It's already too late. It's already too late. They shoot down the girls. They shoot down the woman. The main guy gets away on the truck, and the other two take care of the rest of the henchmen. But however, since all this carnage, all this, like, firefighting has happened, they're like, yeah, we gotta ditch the scene too. We can't be caught here incriminating. They managed to get a hold of the manifest, and it was approved by Swan. So, and this is like some very top level, like, clearance type thing. Like, there's, even if they were like to force him to, like, approve all of this, authorization, it's very unlikely he did this, forcefully. He did this on purpose. So again, they're not looking too well for Swan. Not looking too well. Again, Reacher just trying to look out the best for his men, thinking that they're not assholes. That the people they're assholes in, like, the funny sense, but they're not assholes to, like, for malicious sense. That's what Reacher's trying to avoid. We get a flashback to an earlier operation with the special investigators. They're just trying to take down this little drug ring, and Reacher and Swan are on the inside trying to, like, pose as, like, as cooks to try and sell their merchandise for, like, a cheaper cost. And all they need is the acceptance of a deal so that they can go in and, arrest them. That's all they really need. And honestly, this kind of seems like a pretty straightforward operation. And then one of the lower henchmen show up with the Chinese food. And he's like, hey, I know you. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of cliche. And I'm like, yeah, this is literally the traditional. This is the guy that everyone wants to slap in the face. Like, literally, as soon as I saw him speak out of his mouth, I wanted to slap him. I wanted to deck him. I wanted to make sure he felt that impact on his cheek. But eventually he gives away, like, say, hey, yeah, you bought my guitar off me a few weeks ago. But you had an army jacket on by then. And he's like, oh boy. Very small firefight. The henchmen all get taken down except the fucking idiot. Sadly, Swan is shot in the collarbone. But he's gonna live. He's gonna live. Again, it's one of those, like, moments where Reacher never expected him to be any sort of malicious person. He just expected him to just be a straight and narrow guy that he always assumed that he would be. But definitely that's not what happened here. Reacher's finishing his walk around. He gets pulled over by two Secret Service agents and, well, some security detail, whatever the hell. The senator wants to meet with him, and Reacher's like, all right, as long as you say please. They take him to the nearby Smithsonian Zoo, and which I've never gone to before. I've been to D.C. once in my life. I've never been to the zoo. I think it was either cold that day or my parents just knew that I was going to get bored by it. So, it is what it is with that front. So they meet in the back of the gorilla cages where the senator kind of, does a little bit of an expositional, like, kind of, a little bit of, like, a generic, like, two-faced, like, asshole, I guess that's the word I'm going to use here. I'm trying not to be too, like, real right now. It is a TV show after all, which is kind of still based on, the real world. But okay, the point is that he knows about Reacher, that he knows that you have an amazing history you've done so much in the service, and then also the incident in Margrave, which I'm like, damn. It's like, if people really wanted to know Jack Reacher was in Margrave, yeah, it's kind of publicized, which I'm like, damn. And also, again, like, Margaret was, like, 2 years ago, and almost 3 years ago, their time, which, like, damn, just the passage of time, it works differently in Reacher's world. And Reacher being the stoic person, he just stands there, just, like, takes it all in, and, and all the Senator wants is for Reacher to get involved, use his resources, to his team's position, find the bad guys, stop the bad guys, and then that's it. That's literally all. Basically, the only reason the Senator is getting involved here is that he has his hands in this entire, like, dirty money pocket, where literally this entire program started because of him. So, and he's still playing the good guy defense. We're like, well, our country needed this, defense system. We needed it. So. That's really, like, you're gonna be helping the greater good over here right now. And Reacher's like, again, he's got his own motivation, but, like, he doesn't say no, but he doesn't say yes. He's kind of like just the stoic, like, get the hell, let's just go, let's just get out of here, which he does. O'Donnell gives him a call, letting him know that sadly, well, not sadly, but, like, they Druffer Degrassi's body has been released, so they're ready to go with a proper funeral. So the entire team has to head back over to New York for the funeral. Which they do. We had a brief intercept call from AM and I forgot the freaking, I forgot his name already. White Dragon from freaking Peacemaker. They have a call. Sadly, the operation was not as smoothly, as done as possible. So and then he's a little unhappy about that. It's like, if something else happens, I have to charge you more because I have, like, kind of this perfectionism record. But the bad guy once again promises AM that, like, don't worry, we're going to take care of this team. They won't be a problem for the last stages. Do not worry, there should be no more hiccups from this point onwards. So this is where we're at. We're kind of, I feel like this gets picked up a little bit for me personally, where we're at the funeral. They're kind of once again taking stock of the information they do know and what they are currently missing to kind of solve this entire thing. And, time's of the essence right now, that, this could either we can be solving this case by the next couple of days, or we're never solving this case. Because the weapons being in, like, the wind is definitely going to kind of hinder this entire thing. Reacher notices our fellow police detective of the season talking to Drew from Degrassi's widow and his kid about just comforting him, giving him a toy. And what's funny is that the guy literally says, like, what was my favorite superhero growing up? Aquaman. Which I'm like, that is just kind of a double meaning where, like, we have an Aquaman movie coming out, and fucking Reacher, Alan Richardson did play Aquaman in the past, which is like, I don't know if that was on purpose or anything, or they just randomly picked out a character. And I'm like, that's just some irony right there. It really is. But honestly, it is sincere for one perspective. Reacher kind of takes it as another perspective, thinking that this is just his way to, like, try to get with the widow. And, he's kind of insulted by this. He's just trying to comfort the kid for his own personal experience of losing his dad at such a young age. And, I could definitely, understand his point where he's coming from. And they have a little bit of a back and forth, him and Reacher, about, like, just, their ideals and, like, what their mindsets are thinking of. That, like, they're not too far different or too far, apart from each other, but, like, there's just, like, the stubbornness in both of them that prevent them from, like, really working together. But I really did like this scene. I really did, just seeing, Reacher actually open his eyes a little bit to, like, okay, well, he's not totally wrong about everything. He's not a complete asshole. He's still an asshole, just not a complete asshole. The funeral begins. Everyone's doing the salutes. Everything seems to be going well. They're about to do the 21 gun section of it, and then Reacher notices, like, the glare from a sniper's what's the name of the thing, the zoom, the zoom optical, whatever they call it, the zoomer or whatever. So Reacher manages to notify everyone, get the hell down. everyone goes down. Reacher and the special investigators close in on them, trying to have a firefight with them to take them down. They're a little too skilled for them in terms of just their tactical position and everything. So Reacher decides to make a risky move and try to make a run for it to get one of them out, which it does actually work. The other guy just literally says "fuck this shit," and he starts running away. And shout out to the composer who literally I don't know the track in this scene where Reacher's running downhill through the graveyard to get after this dude. I'm not sure if we ever heard of this song before in terms of this piece, but I'm not gonna lie, this kind of feels like Reacher's theme song. In terms of Reacher doesn't have an opening credits, let's call it, but if there was any music to be the opening credits, I would say this would be close enough. I feel like this would embody Reacher as a character. The guy gets in his car. I mean, Reacher could easily run after him like he did a few episodes ago. But the detective shows back up, gives him a lift. So they both go down together to go chase down the dude. It's not the longest car chase in the world. It's maybe a few minutes before they corner him into a back alley. They knock his tail end, and they manage to get him to stop. He's ready to arrest, but Reacher kind of stops the detective from doing that, considering the fact that if he does this right now, he's going to lawyer up, and then literally we will have no sort of information to use once he's in the system. So let me do my way, and then you can arrest him, which is literally just trying to choke him out with one hand, which I'm again, is the Reacher method. It is very effective. It does have a great history of working, which it does work. He doesn't provide much detail, though. He just provides the basic plan that, anyone who's watching the show would probably figure it out. But he does tell him that, okay, yeah, but, that we got one part of the payment before the job, and we're gonna get the second part of the payment once we have completed the job, which we're gonna meet up with the hirer in some shitty neighborhood in Queens, which I felt personally insulted by. Yeah, Queens isn't perfect, but it's my home. Spider-Man grew up here to an extent. And Reacher asks him, okay, then who, where is Langley? That's his name, Langley. Where's he at? You're gonna meet him today, right? It's Langley didn't hire me. Oh no, Langley. A guy named Swan hired me, and I'm just oh shit, this is not what Reacher needs. He's the fact that he even knows that name, it's not looking good. It really isn't looking good for Team Swan. So they all convene in it's at some random warehouse in Queens somewhere. I don't really know. I can't tell what this location is, and again, Reacher's threatening him if you back out of this, if you do any sort of thing that compromises this entire night, I will kill you. That is a fair and honest statement. I will do against here. Neely's talking to him are you sure? If Swan is actually there, and all this information against him right now, are you really gonna be his friend, or the guy you gotta stop? And Richard's well, if I have to do it, I guess I gotta try and choke him out. That's literally all I can do right now. But sadly, the guy does go in, wired to the teeth, but sadly, the building literally blows up, in a few seconds of him entering it. So, Swan knew. He knew they were gonna fail. Which I'm again, there's a lot of rich history, a lot of explanations that need to be, figured out now, but sadly, that was the end of this week's episode of Reacher. Once again, I think the final segment, the last few minutes of it, were my favorite part of the episode. Again, I don't know how they do it. Not to say the first half wasn't that bad, but we're still in the whole the puzzle pieces are slowly coming together. We're starting to take shape of this, but at the same time, we're also trying to figure out how does this all end? How do we all put these pieces together? And for me, I'm just very excited to see how is this all going to wrap up by the end of it. That's what I'm personally excited about. And I can't wait to see how it all does. How does Swan get involved in this? What is AM's, the reaction for AM when he does arrive to the others? There's so many things I want to see happen. And the fact that we only have 3 episodes left indicates that we are going to get those moments either very soon or soon enough. So I can't wait to see how it's all going to play out. But for me personally, I'm going to give this episode 2 thumbs up. Let me in the comments below what you think of this week's episode of Reacher. I would love to hear your thoughts down below, as always. But I believe that's going to do it for me today, everyone. So if you're unaware, this has been What's to Do from ActionX, reviewing every episode in the 2nd season of Reacher. If you want to know what we're doing normally and wants to do besides our Reacher episode reviews, that's all we're doing right now at the current moment. Again, we have more Reacher reviews coming your way. Next review will be out by next week. Sorry, that's been a little bit out of order. We usually do things like these reviews relatively on the day of release, but like personal life and commitments and everything, like I just can't get to them as fast as I want to. Especially like I love the show, really. I would love to do these, but like there's just only so much time in a day to like have the opportunity to talk about it. But we will be back next week for the next episode review, so stay tuned until then. But again, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't yet, like, favorite, share if you want to, and ring that bell. But until we see each other again, thank you so much for watching. Stay safe out there, be good to each other, and as always, peace out.